So all of you electric car fans have been indeed waiting for this car. Of course, that would be the Tesla Model 3 and the Tesla Model Y. But itong Model 3 kasi, this base standard rear-wheel drive model we're seeing here starts at around 2.1 million pesos. So that brings me to the question, is this our potential car of the year? That's exactly what we're going to be finding out in this car's full review.
More on that later. For now, if you like what you're seeing, or even these kinds of reviews, why not hit subscribe and hit the bell?
Woohoo! What a car! What a car this thing! So, a little background. I'm pretty sure naman you are aware, guys, that I currently own a 20th anniversary edition Mazda 6 wagon. Pero, before I got that car, the moment I found out na Tesla is coming to the Philippines, medyo nag-isip ako whether I got the right car. That's because I came from a Mazda 6 wagon in the first place na rin naman, and so, why not I explore a new brand? So, we're gonna be finding out basically if this car is a potential totga kung sabihin natin, or the one that got away. So yeah, basically onting confession right there. But basically, now that we have here the Tesla Model 3 standard rear-wheel drive, let us first take a look at its very minimalist looks. From a design perspective, do I prefer this over the Mazda 6? Yeah, in terms of design, I still prefer the elegant and more stately looks of my Mazda 6 wagon. But as far as electric cars go, I actually do like the minimalist looks of this Tesla Model 3. So you have the slim LED headlights and talagang wala kang grill up front. Talagang they've cleaned up the front end of this car. And as part of the so-called Highland facelift, or at least unofficially called the Highland, yun nga, you have a sleeker front bumper along with these 18-inch wheels with aero covers. So, worth mentioning by the way is that for the 2026 model year, they swapped out the Tesla badge here up front for a black emblem, and then you now have here a front-facing camera. What we have here nga is a 2025 model year, but that won't change our review because sobrang onti lang naman differences nung itong coaching ito with the newest update. Now, as for the car side profile, nga, very clean, but you have this sort of jelly bean look because everything's really curvaceous. Flush door handles, of course, are order of the day for better aerodynamics. And then moving towards the back of this car, you also have nice C-shaped LED taillights with the Tesla script written across the car's tailgate. Speaking of which, when you open the tailgate, or rather the trunk lid, it is power operated, so that is a good touch, I think, especially for a car at 2.1 million pesos. The thing with Teslas, by the way, is that though you have your 18-inch wheels, hindi sila yung parang spec per spec na parang, for example, if you go for the all-wheel drive, you get nicer wheels, but here in Tesla's case, you can pretty much get the base variant, but still fully loaded with all the creature comforts you want. And so with that in mind, speaking of creature comforts, let us now step inside the Model 3 to see what else this car has to offer, especially in terms of tech. So here inside the Tesla Model 3, as you're gonna be seeing naman, minimalism continues to play a role in this car's interior design. So yeah, maybe it's too minimalist for a lot of people. And that includes me because, again, going back to the Mazda 6 comparison, this car is a bit, like, design-wise in the inside, medyo cold po sabihin natin. I mean, it's a nice interior because it feels solid and with plenty of soft-touch materials and leatherette surfaces. And so, it is a premium interior naman, especially with this fabric topper sa kanyang dash and also the suede-like material sa kanyang headliner. But as far as design goes nga lang, yeah, it is very minimalist, not full of emotion basically. If Apple were to design a car, I think this would be the interior of their cars. Pretty much tech forward and focused on this large infotainment screen. So let us now talk about this part because this is pretty much central to the Tesla experience. Credit where credit is due though, because if you're gonna be forcing me to use a touchscreen all the time, it better be as nice as Tesla's user interface. As you're gonna be seeing here, the menus are logically laid out, and that is the main reason why I would prefer Tesla software over the BYD even sa to lang some German luxury car brands even, because Everything here is logically laid out. All the vehicle features, for example, like the automatic headlights, the mirror and whatever settings, they're easily accessible here in the touchscreen. But yun nga, I would still prefer having knobs and buttons, but as far as all screen interfaces go, this is indeed the best software out there. And then of course, alam naman natin na being a Tesla, marami kang Easter eggs, for example. So whenever I lock the car, usually may busina, diba? Or even a beep. If I'm gonna walk away with the key, you're actually able to configure the warning or notification sound whenever the doors are locked. Which in this case is, by the way, my smartphone. So I've linked my smartphone to the Tesla Model 3. And then of course, you have the parang festive mode kung sabihin natin, along with the Sentry mode, wherein the interior cameras are being used to monitor the vehicle, and also nga pala, even the exterior cameras of this car are used to basically provide 24/7 surveillance. Wala ka nga lang Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but again, sabihin ko nga, if you're gonna be forcing me to use the touchscreen all the time, it better be as nice as Tesla's own software. Speaking of which, you don't need Apple CarPlay naman because
Tesla uses Google Maps for visuals and data, though the directions programming is pretty much Tesla's own work. What this basically means is that you can send Google Maps destinations from your smartphone to the Tesla software, but the routing algorithm will be Tesla's own work. That's because Tesla considers your car's battery status to determine whether you need a charging stop or not, along with your battery status once you arrive at your destination.
also with your Spotify and Apple Music, in my case, Apple Music, it is also logged into this car. So I am loving the integration of those features into the car software. So even the voice commands, for example, the native voice command of Tesla, I am able to access my music easily nang walang problema. And to the car's very nice 12-speaker, I think, hi-fi sound system. Hindi siya branded like, for example, Bose or Sony, but it is a really good sound system. So tech-wise, wala ka man physical interior controls, but this is a large infotainment screen that's well done, well executed, and basically if other automakers are focused on software, they should be as nice as Tesla's own software. Yun nga lang pa rin, of course, I would still prefer pa rin to have physical controls and knobs. Speaking of which, in terms of those physical controls nga pala, yeah, you're gonna be seeing here na you have no stalks, you have no signal and wiper stalks. It took me a bit of time to get used to it, but the thing is, eventually as you own this car in just a few hours lang, it has already become second nature with how I operate all of these features in the car steering wheel. Worth mentioning, by the way, is that for the 2026 update, bumalik na yung kanyang turn signal stalks, but as for the electronic gear lever on the right side before in the pre-Highland Tesla Model 3, yeah, hindi nga lang bumalik yun. But I am actually fine with the up-down switcheroo here sa kanyang left side ng infotainment. Yun nga lang, if I were being honest, there is also a version or rather a mode na you don't have to do the swiping up thing to change the gear positioning or the gear selector. And instead, you can make the car do its own thing. But yeah, aminin ko, I don't really trust the system if I'm gonna let it decide whether it needs to go to reverse or drive. Yeah, software quirks aside, there's plenty of storage here inside the Tesla Model 3. So you have a very large center console here, and even the storage bin here is very large. Cup holders are stored here. And then, the glove box nga lang, in order to access the glove box, you have to go to the infotainment system and yeah, that's when the glove box will open. Now, with that in mind, let us now hop into the car's back seats, which as you're going to be seeing here, there is plenty of space at the back of the Tesla Model 3. So this basically has been set for a 5'11" driver, aka me, along with a 5'11" rear passenger seated behind the driver's seat. And as you're going to be seeing, legroom is pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. Kaya ko pang maka-de-quattro here, in fact. And so, yeah, that's really good in terms of legroom. You have airplane-style pockets here. And then, this is, by the way, synthetic leather or vegan leather in Tesla speak because they wanna sound sustainable with how they make their cars. And as for the features worth mentioning, by the way, is that you have your 8-inch touchscreen, which not only lets you control the vehicle's climate settings. Oh, worth mentioning nga pala is that the aircon vents in the Model 3 are actually adjusted not through those physical knobs, but through the car's infotainment. Likewise here in the rear part of the vehicle, this isn't just actually for controlling the car's air vents, but also you can even watch movies here. So you have Netflix, you have YouTube, you even have Twitch. So if you're gonna watch your favorite streamer, you can do it here behind the 8-inch screen of the Tesla Model 3. You can also play games here, and yeah, Tesla actually gave me a controller for me to sample video games with this car. You have Fallout Shelter, interesting titles actually. Yeah, so there's plenty to do here with this 8-inch touchscreen, and the reason why I say na in terms of a value proposition, this car is really good because there is plenty of amenities for both the front and rear occupants. Apart from the software part here in the car's rear touchscreen, you also have here your own center console with 2 cup holders, 2 USB-C fast charging ports as well, and worth mentioning as well, of course, is that you have this uncovered glass roof nga lang. I have driven this car under the midday sun. December ngayon, so magpapasko and medyo hindi ganun kainitan sa Pilipinas. But I am curious to find out though nga lang on how this car will fare under the midday sun during summertime, for example, because syempre dun tirik talaga yung araw at the time when the Philippines is at its hottest. Yung nga lang, there's one con here for me at the back of the Tesla Model 3, that would be the rear seat height, because it is quite on the low side yung seat height niya. And so as you're gonna be seeing here, I do lack a bit of thigh support. Even if I put my feet under the driver's seat, actually there's not much foot room under the driver's seat. So overall, it's a nice back seat, and equally just as impressive is the car's cargo flexibility, because of course, we know naman na Tesla pretty much invented a car having a front trunk. So of course, they have that here, along with a very large rear trunk. You're gonna be seeing here the figures down below. And yeah, with that in mind, that is a good time to talk about the car's drivetrain as well as this car's driving experience.
There are 3 versions of the Model 3. The standard range rear-wheel drive we have here, along with a long-range all-wheel drive, and of course, the range-topping performance variant. Tesla, however, doesn't anymore disclose the car's battery sizes or even their power figures. But thanks to the electric vehicle database website, we are able to reveal the battery sizes and also the power figures. Now, with all of these details out of the way, how does a Tesla Model 3 feel like on the road?
So of course, the question now is, how is the Tesla Model 3 feel like on the open road? So I've driven this car for more than 600 kilometers at this point. I took this car a few days ago to Pampanga, to Clark and Tarlac, Pampanga, mga around those areas. And I was really able to explore the car's handling potential and even the ride comfort. And so, one thing that you will immediately notice the moment you start driving this car is that alam naman natin syempre na with electric cars na they have what you call this one-pedal driving mode, di ba? Here in the Tesla Model 3, apparently, that is a default driving mode. So, kung first time nyo mag-drive ng electric car and then biglang lilit kayo sa Tesla, baka manibago kayo with the fact na you have to barely touch the brake pedal whenever you drive this car. If you've driven an EV before na merong one-pedal driving mode, this will be very familiar to you. But yun nga, if it's your first time driving a car with that kind of throttle habit, baka manibago kayo with the Model 3. But for someone who has driven a lot of EVs over the past few years, this is pretty much like sakto lang for me. Like, it's something that I've been used to. And if you're gonna be forcing people, especially first-timers, to experience or drive with one pedal only, then it better be really good. And here in the Tesla Model 3, sa totoo lang, they've done a really good job with the one pedal driving mode. Maganda yung calibration niya between how it switches from acceleration to regen braking, especially at high speeds, for example. So hindi siya parang herky-jerky na when you lift off, it's immediately gonna start pulling you back or slowing you down. But instead, it comes naturally and gradually. So yeah, it's kind of like a bump car driving experience kung sabihin natin, but better calibrated for a car na yun nga is syempre meant to do long distance drives and all that. But apart from its default one pedal drive mode, how does the rest of the driving package feel? So I apologize nga pala for my voice, medyo it's a bit raspy suddenly because of, I don't know, bigla akong nagka-allergy, bigla akong nagkasipon. But that won't hold us back in reviewing this Model 3 rear-wheel drive. And so in terms of this car's overall handling package, versus the BYD Seal that I drove a few months ago, the BYD Seal Advanced Rear-Wheel Drive. This feels sportier. This feels much more dynamic sa totoo lang. Review of the Seal coming soon. But this car has better handling and the steering is a lot sharper here. Not the most rich in terms of feel though, pero it is a very sharp. Sobrang liksi niya, konting change ko na ng direction ngayon. It's really very responsive to your inputs. Yung sa Seal kasi there's a bit of parang dead zone sa gitna ng steering wheel niya. So pretty much standard BYD. But here there's talagang a lot of response from the steering wheel. The handling and chassis balance is actually really good. Suspension does a good job of keeping the body flat. Hindi ko lang masabi if it's emotional. Yes, the car is sporty. Parang there is like, let's say, a bit of coldness with the sporty driving feel of this car. Yes, it is sporty, but hindi ko rin masabi if it's what I would call emotional. And of course, being an EV, it is very responsive. And I like how Tesla is adding a bit of tapering with the power delivery. So it's smoothening out your throttle input. So syempre hindi ka feeling herky-jerky na parang it's spinning you back to your seat ng very instant. Of course, if you buy the Model 3 Performance, I am pretty sure you're gonna be having that sensation na it's gonna pin you back to your seat in an instant. Pero nga, here yung mga sudden throttle inputs mo are being smoothened out. Syempre for a much more smoother experience and a smoother power delivery. Now, we're in a part of this road na medyo not that smooth, kung sabihin natin. Nakalaga truck itong tricycle. What the freak? There's a truck. But the suspension is doing a good job of ironing out the bumps. It is on the firm side though. The suspension is may a bit of jitteriness, but hindi naman siya matagtag, mind you. It is actually just the right amount of firmness that I actually like in a car for it to remain composed and hindi yung parang may secondary vertical motions ka. But yun nga, there's a bit of jitteriness entering to the lower part of the car, mostly due to the very high tire pressure. So this is actually in 42 PSI. Presumably that's gonna be for efficiency, for less rolling resistance. But yun nga, of course, in terms of ride quality, it adds a bit of firmness to the vehicle. Now, as for the overall refinement, well, this isn't a gas car, so wala namang pag-usapan dito in terms of engine or transmission refinement. But worth noting is that for this Highland update, Tesla's improved the car's outside noise suppression. You can hear a bit of tire humming, but it is like a low-frequency hum from the vehicle's tires. Worth noting, however, is that there is acoustic glass all over this car. So even the front, side, and rear glass has this double-layered glazing. So let's say if you crack open the windows to just hear the outside noise levels and then you close the windows, you're gonna be impressed with the fact na the noise difference is actually quite pronounced. So now that we're here on the highway naman, you're gonna be loving the excellent refinement. Not to mention its excellent stability, of course. Being an EV, you have those batteries keeping the vehicle weight, or rather the center of gravity, low. And just how quiet is the car, how refined really is the Tesla Model 3. So, of course, here in Go Flat Out PH, we now test cars with our sound meter. Yeah, 100 kph, here in Calax, dry weather, from Silang to Santa Rosa, Laguna. What's the average noise levels in this car? So that's really good, 66.6 decibels. And now let's talk about the car's Autopilot. So yes, this car has or is equipped and prepared for full self-driving. Pero what we have is enhanced Autopilot, and yeah, it can do the lane changes automatically. I actually love it for that. Yun nga lang, there are gonna be moments where baka mag-worry ka on how it's gonna perform, especially kung yung lane markings are hindi ganun ka-consistent. Minsan, for example, if you're driving through a highway tapos meron yung mga parang counterflow lane na may cones and whatnot, minsan the system is gonna be a bit wary nga lang na baka magbanggaan kayo with the pasalubong na kotse. So there's that part worth noting as well, kasi let's just say the system is good, really good, but not perfect. But when it does work, it really does work well. So yun nga, it's doing the lane changes automatically, as you've seen naman. Yun nga lang, the automatic emergency braking can be a bit sensitive, pero it's more on the warning lang but not the actual braking. So for example, kasi it's also monitoring the brake lights of the car in front. So it's gonna be giving an audible warning that the car in front is suddenly stopping based on those visual conditions. It's also worth mentioning the vehicle's efficiency. So over the past 4 days that I've been using this car, the efficiency of this car is actually really, really good. So it's no wonder why even the standard range is already pretty good. This car is currently doing around 8.8 kilometers per kilowatt hour, which is insane in terms of electric motor efficiency, even compared to the BYD Seagull sa totoo lang. That's impressive on a car na matulin yung performance niya with a lot of range, with a lot of tech. And that's the thing with Tesla, no? So they really do electric motor efficiency really, really good. And that's the thing basically with this vehicle. So it's a pioneer in a lot of things, though this is already facing competition from the likes of BYD, for example. But even compared to the BYD Seal, I actually prefer this car now. This car, at the moment, is my current EV benchmark. Itong Tesla Model 3. Efficient, cutting-edge tech that's well executed. Though, yun nga, in terms of the hardware aspect, like how you're gonna be dealing with the vehicle, like how you're gonna be interacting with the gear lever, the turn signals and whatnot. Since wala kang mga physical switches and all of those other nuances that we've gotten used to for like the past 100 years or so with vehicles. And that's the part na medyo controversial with the Model 3. But everything else, driving feel, technology, efficiency, infrastructure, because Tesla's supercharging network with the part na you don't have anymore to deal with apps and cards to just pay the system. This is all encompassing a really great EV. Still the benchmark for me, despite having newer competition, and despite me driving a lot of EVs at its price point na are trying to steal a bit of sales from the Tesla Model 3. Not to mention the price. The price talaga is the killer part of this car because it is really, really good.
It is no wonder then, kalat na ang mga Tesla on our Philippine roads. Now, going back to the Totga part, to answer my own question, no. I do not prefer the Model 3 over my own Mazda 6 wagon. Instead, I actually want to own both cars side by side. One is an emotional, sporty, and beautifully luxurious wagon, while the Model 3 ideally would be a vehicle that I would consider a smartphone on wheels. For the tech-forwarded EV fans, the Tesla Model 3 is absolutely and definitely worth the wait. And yes, this car is also in the running to be a Go Flat Out PH Drive of the Year.